Hey, I'm Squeak,
Hey, it's your pal Mega Snoop.
Hey, I'm Smirky.
and you're listening to the Speedchat Only podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Speedchat Only podcast. With me today, as always, is Mr. Megasnoop and Mr. Smirky B16. How you guys doing today?
Hey,
What's going on?
Yo, don't know him,
Back
but
in
yo.
another day in paradise, right?
Smirky,
You know
I
it.
barely know him.
Who?
Wait, did you say Smirky or Michael?
I said Smirky.
Okay.
He said Smirky B16.
Yeah, the household name from earlier, the
yeah,
one at
Smirky
Walgreens.
Bumper Pop. You go to Walgreens, everybody's heard of him. Dude,
Yeah.
my neighbor's heard of Smirky.
Dude,
All my
I ask him
homies
who
love
Mega
Smirky.
Snoop is. They're like, what's a Mega Snoop?
what's a Megasnoop?
But they're like, Smirky, yeah, that was the first ever person on Twitch to get partnered for Toontown, right?
The first
Totally.
Toontown partner.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Matt is crying right now.
We love you.
He's
Matt.
not even here and he's crying.
Anyways, today we have a lot to talk about. First, we have the TTCC 1.1 update. Woo!
Oh,
very
yeah, that
cool.
happened.
Oh, yeah,
Yep. a lot.
that thing.
It was refreshing to have people watch my stream again for a while.
Same. Oh, my God.
Then we were going to talk about our likes and dislikes about it. We're going to go through Poppy's tweet, or like twit longer, whatever, and see what was said, and talk about a couple things. And then we're going to be looking at some of the past Toonfest and stuff like that. So gear up, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to
Gear
I
up,
said
Matt's
gear
Name
up.
drop.
Where's
name
Matt?
drop.
Oh,
Follow Gear Up
I
Twitch,
hate it.
dude.
Gear up.
Gear
Yeah,
Up.
shout out to Gear Up, by the way. But
love
God
that
bless
guy.
that man.
Yes, sir.
I hate him though. So it's funny. Me and him were doing an audiobook together, and I'm his editor because obviously I edit the podcast and I edit his audiobook, blah blah blah. And dude, it has just been a grind. It has been so long since I've gotten good sleep because of this freaking audiobook. But anyways,
Is that what's keeping you up
Hey.
until like 3 a.m.?
no, Resident Evil was keeping me up till 3 a.m. last night.
Fair though.
No.
But let's go round robin here. What is everybody's one like and one dislike from the update? Who wants to start? Should we draw straws?
Michael will
or-
start.
Yeah.
Michael will start.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. I'll kind of come up with it on the spot, at least in terms of my dislike. For my like, I just really liked kind of how smooth everything felt when I first started playing the update. Like, they definitely did a lot of optimization with, switching over to Python 3, and I think using Piperoni as well. Like, all the little, like, dude, if you could just like read the release notes on the website, it doesn't even cover every single
Dude,
like
It was a
bug fix and tweak.
novel.
It's you could literally like that's literally like a research paper. Like that you could just put the release notes and there were so many.
I wonder
but-
who's in charge of that. I wonder who's in charge of writing all that down.
Yeah, I
I
have
don't
no
know, dude.
idea.
They deserve a break after that one.
They
deserve-
It's
really
Poppy.
do.
You think it's Poppy just writing down all this crap?
Right? I think I heard that like the like every single bug fix and tweak, like every single release note is like 14 pages long in total. So
Jeez.
it's so much stuff. But yeah, I really liked how smooth the game felt. Just it definitely felt a lot better, like getting over 100 FPS while I was streaming versus like previous builds where things might not have been as smooth. That was something I definitely noticed. So props to whoever did whatever they needed to do in order to make that happen. Because
Thanks, JJ.
thank you, JJ. We love you, JJ.
Can I butt in here real quick? How ironic it is that like you did say that your favorite thing is one of the things you liked is the optimization, and then you tried to do the CLO fight and you crashed like the district reset like 4 times.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
There's nothing you could do about that, though.
There really
is.
isn't.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I was talking to Judge about this, and he was like, "Yeah, our servers are just like crapped, dude. They're just cracked out right now." And I was like, "Yeah, they probably are, Judge."
Just kind of something we've come to expect with any new updates of that capacity, I guess.
Dude, updates from Toontown, they have 3 things. 1, you can't get on right away because the auth servers aren't up. 2, the districts are always crashing. And 3, every time you try to go somewhere, the game like lags you out. Those are the 3 things that always happen.
That's basically the
Getting,
Toontown update starter pack right there.
yeah,
Hmm.
really. Anyways, what's your dislike, Michael?
So I would have originally said like the sound in the new CLO boss fight whenever the painting like disappeared and the cogs come flying up, but I think they fixed that or like they changed it.
Yeah, because it
So
was like loud at first,
yeah, it
right?
was like obnoxiously loud. I was not really a big fan of that, personally, but they did change it when I streamed the next day, I'm pretty sure. So that that basically kind of is, I can't really say that's a dislike anymore because they changed it, which I like. So in terms of something I actually dislike about the update, I don't know. I'm sure this is something they plan on doing down the line, but you know, they we all pretty much know that they kind of redesigned a lot of the Lawbot cogs in addition to adding new ones, but it just feels so kind of like, I don't know, peculiar compared to like a lot of the other cog departments that still have not gotten a redesign. I think Loopy did confirm that like they are eventually down the line going to revamp the other cog departments, and it would make sense. Uh, it definitely just feels a little bit weird, like walking down the street, just seeing like the Gladhander, like just casually smiling, and then there's like the Spin Doctor who's like on crack. So
Yo,
Dude, I
that
love the
Spin
Spin Doctor.
Doctor
It
animation.
became my new favorite. I don't know why.
same.
I love it now.
But yeah, I don't know. That's probably what I would say is my one dislike.
That's fair.
What about you, Noah?
Okay, so one of my likes, and this is gonna be like, oh, you picked the obvious one, but like, dude, the CLO boss fight is like
Yes.
so cool,
Hmm.
and no other server has ever undertaken like making a whole boss fight, and not only just like a whole boss fight, but a good boss fight. Like, I feel like the CLO could have definitely been something Disney made, right?
Hmm.
It's got like the length of a boss fight, it feels like a boss fight. They use like the new it's not new, but they use like the holographic cogs, and the using a big trap gags to do damage over time. Like that's like someone really sat down and considered, okay, how are we going to make this boss fight cool? And you know what? They did really well. Corporate Clash has proved that they can take concepts and make them into something really, really fun and really, really interesting because they just have the talent. You got people like Polygon on that team who are just cranking out like crazy models, crazy animations. Props to Polygon, by the way, because I feel like without them, this team would be shallow of what it is. But
Polygod?
honestly, yeah, Polygod, dude. But yeah, the CLO and the Lawbot revamp is really cool because, dude, the Lawbot HQ on TTR and TTO was like, man, this is a big space to do nothing in. I run like this. I like there's nothing else to do here. But in the new one, it's like, oh, it's like much smaller. There's the cogs are much more confined. You have to do a lot more like navigating and weaving through stuff. And although that's not really content, right? It's like the thought of a new the only thing that I dislike is I feel like they jumped the gun on the Pandora models. And here's what I'm talking about. So a lot of the game had these like new retextured models and stuff. And for example, if you're playing TTCC right now and listening to the podcast, which hey, what's up? If you go to Cellbyte HQ in the factory, like the bolts and the walls look so nice. They're so redesigned. But then if you look like around, like the floor is not retextured, the gates are not retextured, the faces are not retextured. It looks like just an amalgamation of just new and old, and it's so jarring to me. Like I find it like odd to you like look at that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I feel like the Pandora stuff, although good, looks really jarring compared to the old textures, the old Disney textures still.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fair.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I definitely, kind of noticed that myself, and, if you're going to like put in these brand new like retextured or I guess higher definition textures in the game, why not also take the time to sit down and maybe make some of the textures not included higher definition as well whenever you're putting out this update, so that everything is consistent.
Yeah, which I'm
Right.
sure will probably be their plan eventually. It just isn't something they did all at once, you know?
Yeah,
What is
absolutely.
what is the cogs that that you hope get the redesign next?
Oh, you mean like how they did with the Lawbots?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, any of them really, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
If I had to just choose one, I'd say Cashbots.
Cash
Yeah,
bots.
I would either say
Well,
cash bots or boss bots. I would love to
I
right
would say
see.
now,
boss
I would
bots.
love to see like a animated big cheese. Like that'd be pretty. Or the corporate raider. Like that'd be pretty fun.
Yo,
yeah, like don't
yeah,
get me wrong,
those two.
I love
Oh
the
man.
boss bots as well, but it's like I want to see a completely revamp of Cashbot because I'm just so tired of how big and noisy Cashbot HQ is and the trains. I just
You
hate it.
got to
I
run
do.
all the way to the CFO
You got to
fight if
run
you can't
all the way to the
teleport
other
to a
side.
friend.
Oh man.
I think that either boss bot or cash bot, I feel like, or board bot, they could do the board bot boss. That'd be pretty cool. But
Hmm.
if they did like boss bot interior and exterior, and then they redid the models and stuff, that'd be really cool. Or cash bot. I think the only one that I'd be disappointed if they did it would be cell bots because I feel like you know cell bots are like, yeah, they're cell bots, whatever, dude.
They are literally like bottom tier cogs. Like nobody
Yeah,
cares.
they're like D tier cogs.
Yeah.
The amount of times that you beat up a VP just makes you want to like, oh God, I gotta beat these guys again.
I've done
Hmm.
thousands of VPs, literally thousands in my life. Like it's bad, dude. I'm so tired of it.
Anyways, Mega Snoop, what is your likes and dislikes from the
Oh
1.1
yes,
update?
I have a like and a dislike. Okay, so I have a couple likes. I'm just gonna throw them out there real quick. The first one is, of course, the boss itself, being able to just recreate a brand new boss from the ground up, being able to just from beginning to end design. The which cogs you come out and fight, a round in which you're earning stuff, another cog fight round, and then the actual boss fight itself, and making it try to be fair and balanced. Like the whole design, the whole idea from beginning to end, it gives me hope. Like that they could release a board bot HQ with a brand new boss or a chairman fight or something that could be the same caliber or if not even better. So just the fight, just that the fact that the fight exists is already a like, let alone the fight actually being fun, which I think is good because it's difficult. It's not, you don't just hop in and do it and you're like, oh, I got it first try, easy. Smirky died twice. I watched him.
I did.
My first time I wasted like 6 unites to keep myself alive, and then by the third
Yeah.
or fourth time, I wasn't needing to use any unites. I kind of figured out how to get health back. I knew where the little treasures were gonna fly, so I could keep myself alive. But it seems like every single one I'm doing, somebody's dying in. But anyway, that's just going off on a tangent. So one of the likes is that the other one is the redesign of the cogs and the addition of new cogs, like a whole new 5 tiers, showing that they're like, hey, we can still add more. And they added spots to be able to add more cogs from different types in the future, so they could add more cell bots, more cash bots, more boss bots in the future. And so the addition of new ones and the redesigns, I think I'm falling in love with because I love almost every single design they've come out with. I mean, they made the Spin Doctor look crazy. That one's got to be my favorite so far.
Oh, dude, the Spin Doctor is
He's
so
so
cool.
nuts. I
Yeah.
It
love him.
reminds me of the Mad Doctor from Outlast. Like if you've ever
Mm-hmm.
played Outlast and the
Oh
doctor comes
yeah,
in and he wheels you to his office and he sets up the camera and he takes a bone saw and he just
cuts
man.
off your finger. I love it.
Oh God, dude, so cool.
Dude, just
Just his head's
get
flying
that scene
everywhere.
and then like put the Spin Doctor's face over him, and then like when he turns around and you can see his butt hanging out because the dude's not wearing any clothes. Just put the bigwig's cheeks there. You know what?
Oh my God.
But in all seriousness, I do love the redesigns. Another one that comes to mind is the Shyster. I think I'm in love.
Emo
Also,
cog.
the
Emo cog.
emo cog,
Emo
emo cog.
cog.
Why no big titty emo cog girlfriend? Why? And then the ambulance chaser, like I don't know, they just did something with his face where it like
His
blends in
butt
and
chin.
comes out. Yeah, dude, it
The
looks
butt
good.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Did you notice that with the ambulance chaser, when he goes to blow up, his hat flies off?
Yup.
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing: they all have unique animations, and we really noticed the Spin Doctor because it's the one that's most like his head's bobbing around and he's going crazy. But if you look at like let's say the illegal eagle, for instance. I noticed this. As soon as he's destroyed, his eyes start shifting. His eyes widen and start shifting back and forth, like he's looking around, like what's going on? I can't process this.
Dude,
And then
the bigwig's eyebrows.
The Bigwig's eyebrows.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. And they all have this level of attention to detail, and it's just there's so much thought and care into it, and that's I have to call that out, because if nobody else is going to notice it, I want them to at least know that I noticed it. I noticed your hard work and effort, and it helps build the immersion, and it makes the game better. It does, and it looks beautiful. So shout out to whoever. Let's just give all the credit to Polygon. They did it all. It's Polygon.
Good job, Polygon.
Good job,
You did it.
Polygon. You did it, probably. So, but my one dislike, can I do two? Because I did like 2 likes. I'll do 2 dislikes.
The more the merrier,
So-
I guess.
Absolutely, right? So, number 1 is that that cannon round. That could definitely be done. That could be rebalanced. Not necessarily done
Yeah.
differently, but rebalanced. So there's definitely, because I've seen barely anybody get like Foghorn. And I feel like I'm shooting into the air, and as I'm about to hit a cog, it just kind of turns. And I'm like, oh, well, never mind. I guess I'm not getting that one. So
I wish there was more control in the air.
Maybe
We should have
get
a little
like
more control.
one singular bounce off the wall question mark.
yeah,
Maybe
something
that could
like that, right?
help. I don't know.
Or like a reset button. So if you know that you shot off and you went astray, you just click a button and it just resets. I don't know, something. There's ideas.
that's a good idea.
There's ways. And then, of course, I know another one of the ideas was like an accumulative goal, right? Where you could shoot out and everybody gets the same sound gag at the end, but it's one big bar. And so everybody hitting a cog gets everybody to move up, and everybody could get to a Woogo, or everybody can get to, whatever the other thing is, right? So that was one dislike. And off the top of my head, I don't remember what the other dislike was. So we're going to forget it for now, right? But I'm definitely gonna say that one. So the cannon round is probably the one dislike I can think off the top of my head right now. But looking through the replies to Poppy's tweets, his replies to that tweet, it seems like people are really mixed about a lot of things. So the one thing I brought up with the cannon round, that seems to be a reoccurring theme. So I'm almost like positive they're going to address it and probably do some sort of balancing. I don't know who it was, but somebody already made a tweet about how they were going to change that. They were going to give you at least more movement ability while in the air after being shot out of the cannon, where you can move left and right more, and the ability to move up and down.
Yeah, because it felt like that the movement was just very slow at times to me.
Mhm.
So like it felt a lot slower than like, let's say, Toon Party cannons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something I noticed.
Exactly. And then the other thing, the reoccurring thing I'm seeing is people either love or hate the redesign. There seems like there is no in between. They either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. And I feel like part of that is like, maybe you just don't like the way it looks, but I'm definitely sensing a part of that is just people don't like change. So I don't know. I think
A lot
it's
of
one
people,
those things.
yeah, just kind of, preferred the original designs. I would say, like, why not animate the original designs? Bring those to life rather than like completely redesign like the looks and feels of some of these like old cogs that have been around for a while. I can understand that, especially from like those who are really into like the vanilla Toontown kind of feel that you might get from Toontown Rewritten, or something like that. So those perspectives are definitely respectable, but it does seem like Clash is very honed in on really like changing things. So it just comes down to like, do you like what they're going for, or do you not like what they're going for?
Mhm.
And that's important because if Clash is like, if they embrace this culture of like, we're changing things and things are different here and we're different than TTR, then that's what they want. We're different from TTR, because if you are going to choose to play the game that is the game or the game that is different, right, then you should choose one, because
Yeah, no,
you're not
that's a
going to play
great point.
you're not going to play Clash because it's the same as Toontown Rewritten, because at that point just play Toontown Rewritten.
Yeah,
with
just
more
play,
players.
exactly. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
They're like, they changed so much. Yes. Why would you play another Toontown game when you could just play the first Toontown game? TTR exists. If you make everything too close to TTR, people aren't going to play your game. They're going to play TTR. Why do you think nobody plays Fellowship? You think people are going to go to Fellowship because they want the special gloves? Like, Fellowship
No.
died so long ago because Okay, the three people who play Fellowship still are going to be angry in my comment section, right?
Sorry, Fellowship team, you're great, but your game is like really TTR.
I'm sure it's looking great on your resume right now, right? But it's like, why play that when Fellowship exists? Even some of the other ones that exist right now, it's like, why? Like Corporate Clash did such a good job of changing it. This is why when I made my Tooniversal video, right, the one Tooniversal video I made, I had this spectrum where I was like, is it like TTR or is it like Corporate Clash? Because the way it's set up right now, that the economics of Toontown, we're going to get really weird here, right? The economics of Toontown, if you're making a Toontown server that's too close to the original, why should I play that when I can play TTR? But if you're going to make a Toontown server that changes everything and makes everything unique and different, why should I play yours when Corporate Clash exists? You know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And so, yeah, I was just going on a rant. What were we talking about before I went
There
off?
are many Toontown. There are some Toontown servers out there who are not, as distinct as Clash or as traditional as Toontown are written, and
Yes.
they and people question why don't people play the server? It's because you either play Toontown are written and you get the classic experience, or you go for something totally different because you're doing different for different sake. Like,
Mhm.
why would you play something a little different when you could just play one or the other? So
And like, it's okay for people to play another server that maybe you don't like. Like, people
Mhm.
have different opinions. I know it's crazy because it's the internet, but
Yeah, but that literally circles back to a couple things. So number one, I made a tweet yesterday, and it did really well for some reason. I literally made a tweet because I get asked this a lot whenever I'm playing Clash. People say, "Do you like Clash more than TTR?" And I'll just respond with, "I like Clash different than I like TTR because I'm not going to sit here and compare them. They are different. They are different experiences. I play them to gain different things. Sure, it's all Toontown, but I'm playing one if I'm wanting to play original Toontown. I'm playing the other if I'm trying to play this brand new game where I'm getting these new experiences from, you know?" So, in addition to that, I'm going back to the reason why we started talking about this in the first place. People being upset that they changed too much as far as the Lawbot goes. That's what this server does. It changes things. It makes it new. It makes it different. It gives it a refreshing twist. And it's okay to not like that because this alternative exists. You can go play TTR and enjoy the OG.
at this point, you could just take off the TT in TTCC. You could just make a
Mhm.
corporate Clash.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I don't know. It wouldn't change anything. Yeah, sure. It's like it's Panda 3D. Is that like it's like and sure like it has gags, but that's like one of the two big things that is the same as TTR, and that's because it's a fundamental, right?
Mhm.
Like collecting ice cream in the playground to get health back. That's a fundamental of the game, but everything else has changed, dude. Like, God, just people need to stop being like, "Oh, you changed so much. If you don't like change, go play TTR. Go be sad at TTR. Go be sad because I don't want to hear it. I'm gonna play my video game."
That's fair.
That's it.
Absolutely. So, I see that we all have opinions on 1.1 though. And did anyone else see anything else, like at least in the replies of Poppy's tweet here, that maybe would make a good point? Because again, the things I noticed most were the CLO cannon round, and then the change of the Lawbots, the way they look.
yeah, I don't see this being mentioned a lot in the tweets. But one thing I still noticed, I was going through like for example, I was going through like a coin mint, and there was still like some of the old TTM battle like COG headquarters music being played whenever you went into a battle, and it just kind of felt out of place. This is probably like a very minute thing for me, but or for others, but it just kind of felt out of place, like that they had made all this new music for Lawbot headquarters, which is fantastic. And still, like, there's some like instances in Clash like that have like the original music that just in a sense feel kind of out of place and not, I guess, on par with some of the other music they have. This might be like a totally weird thing to like bring up, but I don't know. It just kind of like bothered me whenever I was like going through an area like that, and like there's like this great Cashbot Mint music, and then like, oh, this like normal TTO music that doesn't really fit with the theme of moving around in the Mint. I don't know.
And you know
Maybe
what?
this is
That's actually
very
good feedback.
minor.
No, that's probably good. You could probably just like bring that up to Corporate Clash, and they'd probably put it on their list because they're
Oh
really good
yeah,
about
they
having a
are.
list and doing things on their list. Like I remember when we were talking to Quentin about like TTR, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make one of those. What's those like web pages where you can have like all the things that people request and are working
Like
about,
a
like."
FAQ or help section or
Okay, so
A
a
Trello board.
Trello, yeah, a
Trello
Trello
board.
board. So I know Quentin was talking about how they want to do that eventually. It feels like that TTCC has had one of those from the beginning. Now, actually, I know they have because I've seen it. I've
Ho
known
ho
people who've
ho.
worked on the team on their MacBook, 3 feet to my left, and they'd be like, "Look at this," and I'd be like, "Well, I don't actually see this because I'm not part of the team." And they're like, "Of course you don't, wink." So, but but yeah, no, they definitely have stuff like that and resources to be able to keep track of all of these requests and all of these bug fixes and everything to be able to help update the game to be the vision that the community wants it to be. So that's definitely some good feedback, and I'm sure they'd be willing to accept that with open arms.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's do this one question here though. If you could change one thing, I don't know if it's one thing about the update or one thing about the game right now, what would it be? So like, I guess I'll start just because of the fact
Yeah.
that I'll give you guys time to think about that because I was thinking about it before. But for me, it is part of the CLO boss. I do like the idea of like getting the sound and using that to attack the boss directly. Because one of the things that always bothered me about the CJ was that you never really attacked the boss directly. You're just throwing evidence into this what's the word I'm looking for?
Pan.
Scale. It's the scale, the pan, and that's the whole boss. And so now you actually get to move around and hit them. But yeah, it is very hard to get different sound gags to be able to do more damage. Because if you don't know, basically for people listening, the way the boss works is that cogs will fly in, being whatever level they are. Like a level 8 will fly in with its 90 health, and then you could have a bugle, and you have to like spam the bugle to use it several times to be able to bring down the boss's health. So the bugle does like 20 damage in that game. So you got to use the bugle 4 times or 5 times to be able to destroy that cog and blow it up near the CLO to cause some damage and to stun her. But the problem there is that like everybody has bugles. 1 or 2 people will have an awuga, and there might be 1 person who could actually get to trunk, and that just feels a little unbalanced. So being able to change something during the canon round, I know one of the things suggested was having a universal thing where everybody works towards the same sound gag, and then everybody gets the same one. I don't know if I like that idea specifically, but being able to at least like nerf it where hitting 2 or 3 cogs would grant me the next gag would be great, or even just making it where they're not so darn difficult to hit. Because I don't know who tested those, but apparently they were gods at it. Because you made Foghorn near impossible to get, and I'd like to see it more like bell curve dispersed, where you're getting 1 person, maybe 2 people, with a Foghorn every single time. A majority are Awuga and Trunk, and then like some of the people who really aren't good at the game are sitting at lower bugle, But it needs to be that bell curve, because right now we're looking like the American United States poverty levels, where everybody's at bugle, and we got like 1 person at Awuga. Like, it's true. So something to help that bell curve out, You guys have any ideas?
I guess on like the topic of the bell curve, like I feel like the difficulty level of the boss fight just spikes up, especially once the CLO kind of phases with the green wheels and everything like just starts doing more and more damage, and she starts sending out like all these like tornadoes and stuff, which is really cool. But it definitely feels like as you get closer and closer, like it gets like, because I kind of noticed there's like some like phases of like the cogs that come out of the paintings, like they get more increasingly difficult with like higher levels and stuff, so you have to sound them more and more in order to like defeat them and get more treasures. So I don't know, I mean, like part of me is like, well, yeah, I love difficulty, like having a challenge, like a challenging boss is what makes it so great. And part of me was also kind of like, well, if it's taking me like a million times on stream to kind of like defeat it, then maybe there's just something where there's some balancing could be considered, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember when I first tried the CEO, like first time ever, like on TTO, the CEO was hard, right? I didn't get it. I did
Yeah.
die a couple times. But then after a couple times, eventually I got it, right? And even so now, like the CEO on Corporate Clash is still pretty difficult. And I think it's in a good place where it is right now, where like if you're not used to it, it will be difficult. You'll probably die a couple times. But once you start getting it, then it becomes, challenging, but not necessarily hard, right? But it is weird to me that right now, as it stands right now, the CLO in many people's eyes is more difficult than the CEO. And that's just not the natural progression of the game. Like, should be the VP being the easiest, a little bit more difficulty with the CFO, and then the CLO, and then eventually the CEO, right? That's the natural progression. And right now it just feels out of order.
But could you say that the difficulty of the CLO is a bit like artificially inflated because one, the cannon round is extremely difficult right now, and two, people are still trying to figure out the best strategies.
Absolutely, you can make that
Yeah.
argument, except my counter argument to that is exactly what I said. When I first started the CEO, it took me a couple tries, and then I was like, oh, this is easy because I figured it out. It didn't take that long to figure it out. With the CLO, again, I think the one thing holding it back, the one thing, is the fact that everybody's got the weakest sound gags right now. So it's making it really difficult to actually deal any damage. Everybody's doing chip damage out here. Whereas if you start giving everybody else, foghorns and trunks, that probably wouldn't be the case. If everybody can have foghorns and trunks, then it doesn't become more difficult than the CEO. So I think if you literally make this one tweak, then it will no longer be more difficult. And that's probably a bold statement to make, right? But given some people, give people enough time, it'll definitely be something that, and this one adjustment, it'll definitely fall right into place where it needs to be.
If I could change one thing about the game,
Mhm.
is something that they can't change, and it's that I wish that they had a bigger player base, right? I
Yeah.
I
feel
think we
like
all
I
do
feel like
in this room.
I feel like this game, if they had the showmanship, like last podcast, JJ was talking about Joey's showmanship and how he brought the players to the game, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like if Clash had that kind of like flashiness and because I mean Poppy's doing a fantastic job now with like the flashiness and showmanship of the blog posts and stuff like that, right? But when you think about Toontown Written, you think of Sir Max, right? And it's just that ingrained into the identity of TTR. And I don't know. I feel like if Clash had that showmanship level of like Joeyism, that they could like bring a lot more players to the game, right? Like if you search up Toontown in your search bar, like does Corporate Clash show up? Like hold on, let me see Toontown. I see
I
Toontown
see,
written.
yeah, Toontown written, Disney Toontown line, Toontown written, Disney Toon.
Yeah.
I see it in the related search terms, but I don't see it anywhere plastered up front on the first page, which is like the most
No, it's on the
important part of the
second
search.
page,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If you were to do one thing, Clash, it'd be get a marketing team that can put you on the front page of Google.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. No, but I wish more people played the game. I'd play this game a lot more if more people played it.
I
No,
think a
I
lot
My
of
feel
friend,
the
I
same
think
way.
a lot
Yeah.
of
my
newer
friend Josh
players.
runs 8 tunes.
Yeah, I think a lot of newer players are also being turned away from Clash because nobody right now is in that beginning phase. I have a lot of people that, I've heard say, I would play the game if like there were more people to help me in Toontown Central and there's like
Isn't
everyone's
that
already up
so
to like Drowsy
ironic, though?
Dreamland and stuff.
Because most of the people who are like, I would play if other people's played, they're all at the same place. They're all like in those first few playgrounds, and if they all got on, they would be on to help each other. It's so ironic, but you're not wrong. I think the biggest thing like I see is people will join the game for the first time, and then they get through the first playground, and they're like, okay, this is pretty cool, and then they get to the first mini boss, and they're like, I can't do this on my own, and they look around, and there's no one there. There is absolutely no one to help them with it. And that's where something like Clash Central helps, where you can like create a
Yeah.
group for it. But even so, there's just not a high enough demand of people who need to do that. Or even like Good Samaritans who are like, I'm going to go on Clash Central today and just help out noobs with mini bosses, right? Like the people aren't doing that. So it does. There are plenty of roadblocks in the game right now where a new player can feel crippled because of the fact that they get to this point and then are stuck, you know? And again, a bigger player base would help. So I know TTR has always been like, we just made another ad, and they were gonna put it on YouTube videos or something, and then they never did. Because I've never seen an ad for TTR. I don't know if you guys have ever seen an ad for TTR.
They have
I've
a
never
couple.
seen an ad
They
for
have a
TTR.
couple on their YouTube channel, but if you're talking about like an ad, is
Yeah,
that
like, so they have the ads. So what you can do is you can upload a 1-minute video to YouTube and then pay YouTube to put that video in as an ad in front of
like
other
an
videos.
actual ad? Okay, I see what you
Like
mean.
an actual
using like
advertisement.
Google AdSense and stuff like that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Toontown Rewritten has like uploaded videos, but I've never heard of any sort of like official like advertisement on any Toontown related content from any Toontown server. And I
Mm-hmm.
just now thinking about it wonder how that kind of a thing could or could not like affect the player base greatly for, not just like a Toontown server's population, but just like Toontown in general. Like people could be
Yeah,
like,
and
"Oh yeah, I remember that game." A lot of people say that in our streams, like, "Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
remember this game." But there's widespread advertising like that could be huge.
Yeah, and even something like the other gamers are doing right now is paying streamers and YouTubers to play it, which is something I've never seen any
Yeah.
Toontown. As much as people say that DeVito paid people to play his game, there
I
hasn't
mean, they
been
definitely paid Smirky.
Oh
Bro,
there
no.
hasn't
All
been
right.
any
On the real.
official like pay to play. Like nobody's ever done that. Nobody's been like, "Hey, Mega Snoop, I'll give you $100 to stream my game for 2 hours." Right? Nobody's ever done that for me. I've never heard that happening anywhere in the Toontown community, and it's not a bad thing. I don't know why people ever look at this
It's
like a
not.
bad thing, because it's like, dude, Call of Duty does this for streamers. Dude, there's people. What's the game that you got a free beta key for? Like they were doing that.
Oh yeah, this past weekend Fall Guys was in beta and it literally was like in the top 5 Twitch games.
Yeah,
in the
because they were
directory.
like, we're gonna give out free beta keys and we're gonna pay some streamers to play it, and that's how you get your name out there. And I don't know. I'm just saying Toontown could do that, and they don't. So
As much as we think DeVito paid people money to play his game,
As much
We
of a
all
meme that
know.
is.
we all know he paid Michael the most. Anyways,
Bro.
anyways,
true though, dude. Dude, okay, can we get like a meme somewhere of like Ninja walking out of Mixer with his big contract, right? But then like replace Ninja with Smirky and Mixer with Project Altus.
No.
Smirky's just walking away from Project Altus, counting his.
Counting my jelly beans. That's what you
Hell
mean.
yeah, dude.
Ha,
That's
ha, ha.
what it was. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to make the joke. It was there.
It's all
I
good.
digress. What were we talking about, dude?
DeVito.
DeVito.
Let's look at our things to talk about.
Yeah, 1.1 was great. That's my consensus. I like it.
Past Toonfest and future.
Wow.
No, let's talk about that because we were like reminiscing about stories about past Toonfests. So
Yeah.
let's go down the line. Which Toonfest have you guys all been to?
So
2018, 2019.
yeah, I've been
Fair.
to, not counting this year, obviously, every single Toonfest
Yeah.
since 2016.
That's right, and I was the only one who went to 2015, but I missed 2017
Yeah.
because money.
That
Because
was a
okay,
bad
so
year.
yeah, that was a pretty bad year. That was probably one of their weakest years, to be fair.
I don't know. 2019 was a pretty
I-
weak year. We just kind of made it fun.
Yeah, 2019 was definitely one of the weakest years. I would agree. But
I mean, as far as
2017
Toontown
Yeah.
content is the weakest years. 2019 for like us though.
Oh, dude, 2019 was so fun.
Oh
man.
yes.
We had some times.
We
Nobody.
Yeah, we had some really good times together, just like hanging out. Like, I mean, it kind of just turned into more of a, like, just from my personal honest perspective, the trip turned more into just having an excuse to go hang out with friends versus like I'm here for Toontown and nothing but Toontown, and I live, eat, and breathe Toontown. You know?
yeah,
Are
yeah.
you saying that you don't eat and breathe Toontown?
Crazy, right? It's like I actually have a life or something.
Whoa, you
Smirky.
do? That's crazy.
That's not what they give you the
Crazy.
charity money for.
But no, I think I feel the same way. Like, especially from the transition from OMGCon to Replay. So, like, from OMGCon, I was like, I'm here for Toontown. Even, like, the 2016, it was great seeing everybody because that was the first time I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was the first time I met Matt, First time I met
Mm-hmm.
Smirky.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, definitely a few others. I know I'm gonna forget them, and I'm gonna feel bad if I try to name people and I forget their names. But good handful of my friends. It was the first time I ever met them. And then, but I mean, I was still going because it was like, yeah, Toontown. I didn't go 2017. That's kind of when the mood shifted for everybody. 2018, I was definitely there for friends because that was the time where, you know, we were sleeping in until 1 p.m., missing the pie toss, staying out until 2 a.m., having some brews with the buds as we went through the McDonald's drive-through at midnight.
That
You know,
was so
dude,
funny.
it was so good. Unfortunately, I don't have that picture of Smirky with a beer anymore, so as far as anyone knows, such picture does not exist.
I have it on my phone.
You have one of them on your phone.
You have what picture?
What picture? Wait, we
I don't
said
know what
we
you're
weren't going to
talking
talk
about.
about this. We said we weren't going to talk about this. I remember taking said picture that doesn't exist at that party at Megan's Airbnb, and he turns to me and says, "That is never going anywhere." And I was like, "Okay."
It's such a good picture though because he poses. I mean, the picture
I
doesn't
do
exist,
pose.
but
I
if
do.
the picture did exist, he would be posing.
If it
It
did.
was if it would have been wonderful.
Yeah, if the picture existed, don't look at Discord.
No.
And if the picture existed, he chose a really bad beer.
Why did it have to be that beer?
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, kids. Actually, it was funny because I was in a conversation with somebody earlier today about legal drinking ages and about how, like, really though, the drinking laws are that they can't sell you alcohol if you're under 21, and you can't buy alcohol if you're under 21. However, if you're on private property with guardian's consent, then you can actually have alcohol as young as like 16. So
You
really,
were 24 at the time. You were a guardian.
Oh.
You're fine.
I am literally Michael's legal guardian, guys. If you didn't know,
Wow.
I'm Smirky's dad.
Well, you heard
Happy
it
Father's
here.
Day.
Guess the news is out.
Yep, I've adopted Smirky. There was nothing wrong with his last dad. His last dad was actually great. It's just that for content purposes moving forward, we figured this would be the best decision.
Wait,
Stepdad.
Megan Soup was just using me for content, for clickbait?
I've always been using your
It's true!
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry, Michael.
You
You're one of
sound
my
like
best
somebody I
friends.
know.
Wow.
Somebody who bought speakers. Only people. Only some people are gonna get that joke, and to those people, I love you. You're my best friends.
Man. That's so good. We like to have fun here, though, I swear.
We like to have fun here. Anyways, replay.
Yeah.
So 2018 happened, and 2019 was a banger.
Yeah, 2019, we partied, dude.
What happened to 2019?
I mean,
Oh, man.
it was like we were there. We saw what was going on, and we were like, "Nah, let's go to an amusement park, or let's go play laser tag instead."
Anyways, I went to the booth and I was like, yeah, I mean, like I've seen and done this all before, you know? Like I want to just turn around and go play some shooty games with the buds, or go to an amusement park that was really not cheap and half-assed, and go to great mac and cheese place that
Mm-hmm.
we won't talk
Yes.
about because that was a really interesting night for me.
That's our space, though. We don't want other people going there. Okay.
Yeah, there's no mac and cheese.
There's no mac and cheese, dudes.
There's no mac
It's
and
the
cheese.
Cheesecake Factory. That's what it was. We went to the Cheesecake
The
Yeah,
mac and
yeah,
cheese
we
cake
got
back.
we got
Mike-
we
Michael
got
was
we got
late.
stuck for like 30 minutes. It's all good.
It's all good. But I think you're exactly right, Noah. I wanted to touch upon this. You're exactly right. Especially for us, I guess you could say veterans of Toonfest. We've seen and done it all before. We've been there. We've seen their little coloring books. We've played on the little laptops, and it was fun the first year or whatever, whenever we did it, right? But then we go back and we're like, oh, I guess we can guess how many jelly beans there are again. Oh, we can go say hi to the staff for the millionth time, even though I'm yelling at them on Twitter every other day anyway, you know? But it's
I
like
like
I've
staying
seen
high
and
on the
done it.
staff.
Yeah, I mean, they're nice people. They really are. Like, the core of my heart, I love those people. They're great people, right?
Especially Q. Q is my favorite.
I love Quentin.
We all
He's
love
so
Quentin.
beautiful.
All my homies
Quentin's
love
my
Quentin.
favorite. Hell yeah.
Quentin and Lav.
Hell yeah! I still follow Lav on Twitter. She's cool.
Me too.
Follow Lav on
Yeah.
Twitter. She
Yeah,
does good
follow
art.
Lav on Twitter.
Yes.
Yes.
So anyway, but yeah, we've done it all before, and so it's like I get there and it's like, okay, I'm refreshed. Let's see the one thing that's new. Cool. We got some stickers. We got some buttons. Here's your Toonfest code. Now what? You know, like I've already interacted with a lot of these people, and if anything, is it going to sound bad to say, especially for like me and Smirky? We get like other people get more out of us being there than we get out of being there. You
Ooh,
know,
yeah.
like is that bad to say? But it's
I
true.
it, it is. I kind of feel like there's some degree of truth to that. Absolutely. I'm not saying that the people who want to hang out with us don't appreciate everything going on at Toonfest, but yeah, there definitely is like this degree of truth to where whenever we walk up, it's just like which it feels so weird to even begin with, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just like yeah, there's definitely this like degree of attention that suddenly gets bestowed upon us based on our
Mm-hmm.
previous experiences.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that we don't appreciate it. We absolutely appreciate it. And
Oh yeah.
I know I can speak for Michael on this when I say we absolutely love meeting new people. We
Keep
do.
giving us money.
We shut up, Noah. But we do. We love meeting new people. We love the experience. We love hearing your stories about how you started playing Toontown and how our content has affected you and how it helped you reintroduce you to the game again. We do love that.
Oh
We
yeah.
absolutely do.
Super wholesome, fuels
Mhm.
the motivation, all that stuff.
But we do that once and we're like, okay, we've had our fill, and then we want to do something else, right? Like we are still
Mhm.
very private people that want to hang out with our friends. We're very private people who want to go do the things that we planned on doing. We can't be the token content creators who stand there the whole day just because that's what everybody else expects us to do.
Expectations versus reality.
Exactly. I think
Ooh.
that's exactly it. They
The topic
expect you
of
to be
many
there. They're
college
like,
essays.
It's true.
You're the Toontown creators. You have to be at the booth all day to like say hi to all the Toontown players, and it's like I don't want to do that. I want to do that a little bit, but I don't want to do that all day. I think that's a great way to summarize it, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to do that, but like maybe a couple times throughout the weekend. I don't want that to be my home base. My
Next
home
time
base.
we do it, you guys should like make a point in saying all the creators will be at this location for an hour at this time. Come say
We
hi.
might. Yeah,
and then
might make
official
a
meet
tweet or
and
something.
greets.
yeah, and then like we'll do the Tunes of Toontown panel.
Oh no.
Actually, you know what? Next year we should try to get an episode of the Speedchat only on. So we should do.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, we could all sit
Yeah.
down and be like, "Hey, what's
Do a
up,
live
everybody?"
version of Speedchat only.
Hell yeah! Who's our special guest?
Matt will be our special guest.
Hell yeah!
Even though he's not really special anymore, he's just a degenerate
Yikes.
furry. Not saying furries are degenerates, I'm saying Matt's a degenerate. He's also a furry.
I love Matt though.
Follow Matt
All
on
my
Twitter.
homies love Matt.
Follow Matt on Twitter.
Accurate up Twitch.
I was just gonna say though, like I don't want the Toontown like section to be my home base though. My home base is back at the Airbnb with a Mike's Hard in my hand, watching some idiot play video games on our Airbnb TV. That's what I'm here for, dude.
Smash tourney.
Yeah, Smash Tourney.
Yeah, Michael's gonna come out with the Game and Watch, just mow people down.
Dude,
because we
he's a
didn't even realize
sleeper,
he was
dude.
good.
I didn't know he was good. He
I'm
just
actually
came
a
out and
pro
started
gamer,
smacking.
don't you know?
He's a lurker. He like lurked into the
Exactly.
competition, and we were like, "Damn, Michael's getting to finals, dude." Jeez.
Right?
And then
he
I
won the
threw.
first tournament, I think. Yeah, he won the first tournament, and then threw the next three.
Yeah, I
You
did.
put me up against you put me up against Luis, and I threw. It was so bad.
You had him up by one. Okay,
I
if I
did.
remember correctly, the winners
Had him up
were
by
it
one.
went Michael and then me and then Rena. Am I wrong? Is that what happened?
That's how it won.
I
yeah,
think that's how it
I'm
happened.
pretty sure Reno.
Rena and her Ness.
Rena won one of them. Rena's too good. Rena's a sleeper for being a 4 foot whatever Filipino girl. She
4
just
foot 11 and 3/4.
4'11" and 3/4. It's okay. She won't listen to this. She'll have no
she
idea.
will.
Will
Now
she?
she's gonna
Hmm.
listen to this.
She's
Hi,
gonna
Rena,
message
we
me
love
being
you.
like, "I'm 4'11" and 3/4.
Anyways,
So,
Anyways,
we've talked about
I
past
digress.
Toonfest, but what about the future?
oh well.
I guess one thing to kind of start up the conversation, I know that current world events have kind of shut down what would have been this year. And I know because I remember they had this whole Toon HQ takeover idea that I'm sure would have been very interesting to see in person. So, it's kind of a shame that
What?
current like are you not familiar with the Tune HQ takeover theme that they had?
I
No.
mean, I'm
No.
familiar with it,
Yeah,
but for the viewers at home, Michael, please.
haha. They had the Toonfest logo, but they had like the Toon HQ in the background, and they have a whole blog post on it. I'm pretty sure they were gonna basically transform the booth into like a Toon headquarters like experience. I don't know exactly what it would have looked like, but I just know that's what they had planned on doing. So visually, it would have looked different, I think. And I don't know. It just kind of makes me wonder, like, how they could plan on like going forward with like future Toonfest events, booths, stuff
Well, now
like
they got
that.
another year to think about it.
It's true. Now they can save money for another year and make it even bigger and better than last time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because again, it's like it's always been the same thing. We walk up and we're like, "Wow, we've seen this," and it's like they're not going to change it because there's going to be some kid where that's his first ever year there, and so this is all brand new to him. But I want to see something new.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's always nice. You go there the first year and it's like, oh, hey, how's it going, Joey? Oh, hey, how's it going, Quentin? Oh my God, I know you from the internet. Blah 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 blah. Hey, I'm gonna go play DDR. I'll catch you later.
Yeah,
Mood.
exactly. But in the future, so that's the funny thing is that if COVID never happened, I know I had plans to not go this year. I was like, I'm done. I'm over it. It's not cool anymore. And I really think that was just the presence of the people I was talking to.
Yeah.
Because if I really break it down, I'm like, I want to spend time with my friends, you know? I think there was this word going around where like all the friends, the friend group or whatever, was going to hang out on their own time in their own place that just wasn't Pittsburgh. But it's like
Mm,
Pittsburgh's always been just a good place. It's a good excuse
yeah.
because we do know some people who they're not like they're not 18 and so they can't just be like, hey mom, I'm gonna go hang out with internet friends in LA, can I go, right? But when they
Right.
say, hey mom, I want to go to this Toontown convention, their mom is going to be like, oh yeah, let's go, we'll make it a family thing, and then while they're there they can hang out with their friends, and it makes for a better excuse. And also it's something that we know we can all do together, and it coincides with the content creators because it gives us something to do while we're there. And I think it's just an all around better excuse. And so I think for next year, I definitely do want to see about going and see if we can get all the dudes in a house and then only show up to replay once, being hungover, being like, "Yo, what's up, Joey?" and then go back to doing whatever we were doing, right?
Yo,
All
what's
I'm
going on, Q?
all I'm gonna say is Toontown partnership under review at that point.
Michael, this is the third time you've shown up hungover.
Dude,
Oh
dude's showing up to
god.
his own streams hungover, like,
Come here. Come
let's
take,
play some Toontown.
come take a walk with Papa Joey.
Oh
But
no.
absolutely, it's like I feel bad for even having that thought this year again, just because that was just the conversation that was being had, and it's like I
Yeah.
definitely want, like, the only reason I've been going in the first place is because of friends, and that'll always be my reason to go. But
Mhm.
I think it's just it's a good excuse, and it still works out well as an excuse for that. And so being able to say that yes, I'd like to go next year is a statement I'd like to make right now.
I was just gonna comment that I had contemplated, because of like my friends not going, like actually considering not attending Toonfest 2020, even if it was gonna happen. Like there was part of me that was like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd love to go, but another part of me was like, it just wouldn't feel the same without my friends. Because what
Mm-hmm.
really made my experience last year was not just like the couple of panels that they had. It was the friendship and the community that I met. Like I know that's really smirky esque and cheesy, but it is very true. Like the people made the whole trip for me. So having people
Mm-hmm.
that I was familiar with thinking about not going did kind of like made me contemplate whether or not I actually did want to end up, like, I just was hesitant to book like plane tickets or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all things considered, are you glad you didn't now because of
Oh
COVID?
yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure.
So it's almost good that we all had those thoughts, but I digress. Noah,
One of
you
my
had something
favorite
to say.
moments from last Toonfest was we were watching, I think, like a Smirky video, and he comes out of his room and he goes,
Dude, you completely cut out in the Discord
Yeah.
call, but I heard you from the other room. He goes, "Why the f am I on the TV?"
I laughed so hard at that.
Partnership
'Cause
under
he just-
review.
Bro, he
Partnership
comes out of this room in this bathrobe, and he just goes, "Why am I on the TV?"
Oh, it's so good. And it's like, man, I'm so glad I documented these things, not just as like, oh, hey guys, here's content for my YouTube video.
Yeah, no,
my
this
YouTube
this
channel.
this I think you caught that and put that in your vlog, if I remember correctly.
Mhm. Yeah, it's in the
Smirky
vlog.
cursing is on the vlog.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll bleep it out next time.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, as someone who is like a B-list content creator in the Toontown community,
Oh, you think you're B-list?
You're
All
A-list
right.
in my heart, Noah.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Dude, you're
thank
like
you.
D-list in my heart. I'm gonna be real with you,
Dude, I live with you. I will come into your room right now and kick you. Anyways, yeah, I mean, the experience there is always great and fun. It's just, I feel like this year, if we had gone, I would have gone there first, and then I would have come here to Vegas. I feel like that would have been an easier thing to do.
Oh yeah, good, an easier transition. I don't remember. We did that one year. What year was that? I think it was 2016. It was literally, I went to OMG Con with my ex-girlfriend, and then came back and immediately moved to Vegas. That was like all in the same like chunk, right? So it was literally the same week. So I can definitely see how having a trip like piggyback off of that would have been beneficial, but it is what it is. Here we are now, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, I forgot.
Replay 2021.
Hey, if you're going, you're going.
You're going. I mean, I'll go, and then I'll not go to the convention center and wake up hungover. I'll do that.
I'll go for bingo.
Yo, I'll show up for bingo hungover,
I'll go
and then
for
they'll be like, "Yo, it's Mega Snoop in the back row," and I'll just be like, "Yo."
I'll go for Ultimate Werewolf, and me and Matt could just play there for hours.
God, do you remember that? We all
Dude,
got Wolf, and we just
that-
ran a game.
That was hilarious.
That was so fun.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I will go for friends. I think that's what it is. There's some gaslighters in the community. I guess that's a poor choice of words for the context, but
Yeah.
there's a couple of us that like if we're going, everybody else will be like, "Yeah, we'll go," you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know. Michael,
we're
I
going
would definitely
next
say
year.
Michael and I are probably a couple of the people that are like, if we go, other people will kind of gather around us and be like, "Yeah, we'll also go," you know?
Yeah.
I'll go.
So I don't want to like put that on as being like, look how important we are, but it's just that we are kind of like more central in certain circles of friends, you know?
I'll go next year. I know I'm central in two circles.
All right,
friends,
if
so-
Noah's going, I'm going. Let's hit the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because like if Noah goes, ugly boys go, you know?
Well,
Not
We'll
maybe not all ugly boys, but there's like probably a handful that'll be like, Noah's going, I'm going.
yeah.
And then we have to convince JJ to go, and then stay in our Airbnb and have a party every night.
JJ's gonna go. He's gonna
JJ.
go. You know he's
Hey,
gonna go.
if we convince JJ to do an escape room, you know it's happening.
Guy's gonna show up and he's gonna be like, I work at Facebook and I'm getting drunk with Toontown friends.
Oh, that sounds lit.
Oh man.
and then we're gonna post it on Facebook. Oop.
Oops.
Mhm.
Then he's gonna delete it. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
if anything,
Anyways.
I guess we'll see what happens with Toonfest this year. Because when's that supposed to happen? They're doing
So,
it like in September.
It's gonna happen the weekend where September 19th happens. So they're
Okay.
doing it that weekend that is supposed to mark the day that Toontown closed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're trying
Okay,
to
so
do
that
like
works.
they're trying to do like let's celebrate the Toontown community thing, And I think they're still taking the Toon headquarters theme into the virtual theme, which I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I think that's definitely something they're planning on doing. And at least they have more time now rather than doing it this weekend, for example. Like they have even more time to really figure out like how they're going to present,
Guys,
their stuff.
I have a topic. Do we have 15 more minutes?
Yeah,
Maybe less, but
I have
okay.
15 more
I'm
minutes.
scrolling through Twitter because this is what I do. Amesy left the Toontown Partner Program.
She did.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When did this?
There's a tweet 24 minutes ago.
Oh,
Says,
wow.
I've part ways with that Toontown partner program. This is due to how I want to start making content for the future. I want to produce content where I'm more so myself. This is a hard choice, but I had to come to this due to anxiety, and I hope you can understand. Thank you. And then, like, Quentin followed up with a reply, which is why I even saw it in the first place. And he's being really sweet about it because Quentin's a sweetheart, you know? He goes, thank you for all you've brought to the program over the past few months. You've been with us. It's been great working with you, and I cannot wait to see all you go on to achieve. You helped us lay the foundations and shape what the program will look like moving forward. All the best.
Well, it doesn't look like they left on bad terms, so
No, it doesn't.
No,
And
it absolutely looks like it's on good terms.
I think what gets me is the reasoning here, though. Is just
Yeah.
because she's always like, I'll always love and respect everyone from Toontown, and it's cool because it's still her favorite game. She's not going to she's not going to stop streaming it. She just wants to be able to. This is what she's saying. She wants to be able to be more herself when streaming. And again, it's what she put. I want to start. I want to produce content where I'm more so myself. Like it definitely has to do with, from what I can tell, and I'm not gonna nitpick this, but it's like she doesn't want to be held to the certain standard of you have to act a certain way on stream because of this program. That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, I kind of.
or she's shifting her content.
Or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
What'd you
she's
say,
shifting
Noah?
her. I said, or she's shifting her content.
Okay. How
Right.
would you say like she's shifting her like what would be a good example
Her top
of
3
that?
games on Twitch are Just Chatting, Fortnite, and Jackbox Party Pack, and Marbles before Toontown. So maybe she just doesn't want to play Toontown anymore, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah, maybe
but
she's.
even like as a Toontown partner, I think you only need to like adhere to. Yeah, Toontown doesn't even need to be your main game.
Yeah, no,
You just have
it
to
doesn't.
Play it like a couple times a month.
Yeah,
That's true.
like she wouldn't have to like stream only like Toontown Rewritten to remain in the partner program. Like she could have stayed in the program if she wanted to and streamed these other games. But you know, if it doesn't work for you, then you know, if you come to that realization for whatever reason, then I totally understand.
Did she ever apply for partner?
No, she was one of the original people with Smirky that got it right away.
No, are you referring to Twitch
Or was-
partnership?
Twitch partnership.
Yeah.
Oh, Twitch. Okay, yeah.
I'm
She
pretty
did apply
sure
for
she
that.
did.
She applied for it. I don't know if she's gotten anything back. I don't actually follow her on Twitter. Oops.
Oops.
But I remember seeing something about that, and then I don't know if they ever got back to her because they usually do take a little bit of time to be able to get back to you on that. So I get it. But other than that, like usually from my experience, I see that Twitch will usually say no on the first shot, and then if you can show that you're growing still, or they'll give you one of these, hey, we're keeping an eye on you, so just keep doing what you're doing, right? And
Good
so
luck,
if you
Gamesy.
if you just keep doing that, eventually she'll probably get there, but she just has to keep doing that. So if she's listening to this and you got denied the first time, just keep at it because that's normal.
Yep.
That's what happens.
So-
It happened to me. I think, how many times did we get denied, Michael?
I got denied 10 times.
10?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I think I got
Wow.
denied like 3 because I didn't apply all that many
No,
times.
I got denied
I
10
have-
times. I applied
Have
so
been
much.
denied.
I applied way too much.
I remember when Brian was applying when he had like 4 viewers.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people will
He's
apply
like, bro,
as
I'm
a
gonna go
joke.
for it. Yeah, I mean, I remember when he got like 30 and he was like genuine. He's like, oh, this is the time.
Nick freaking Jenkins.
Nick Jenkins.
Oof.
Oh man, dude. I honestly, if anything, I can't wait until we're all together again so we can sit down and watch old videos. That's what I love doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this
100%.
this episode's getting a little bit long. Do you want to wrap it up?
Wait, how much time are we at? It's not getting
We're an
a little
hour
long.
and 5
This is-
minutes.
This is like normal, dude.
Yeah, this is normal.
fine. Dude. Little long, bro. If you think this is a little long, man, have you ever sat down and watched a play or a
Yes.
musical?
Yes.
That's a little long, dude.
I've been
There's
in
like
a couple of them.
15 intermissions in those.
Dude,
15.
you know what? I think
Dude.
that's
It's what it
what we need
feels
here,
like.
guys.
There's an
It's-
intermission to clap every time they sing a musical number.
That's what we need for the podcast. This is your intermission. We're all going to take a 5 and we're going to come back and do another 2 hours. Here we go.
Yeah, hit the joy painting music right now.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Oh Jesus.
No, but I don't really got anything else that I feel like I need to talk about today unless there's anything you guys want to talk about.
We were going to talk about that one thing, but I've already said enough. We'll talk about
Oh,
it next
you're
time.
right. Yeah, no. That's fine. We could just save that for another time, especially
Yeah.
since if we get our next guest on here, oh, he'll have a few things to say about that. Then again, he just likes ripping apart everybody, so.
Oops.
Who? Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He does like ripping apart everybody. You know it.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, that's all I got. But yeah, dude, I just love sitting down and chatting with you guys for an hour. It's
Yeah.
not only does it make good content, but it's like just a good excuse for the dudes to hang out.
Yeah. Like this
Just a couple of
podcast has been
dudes.
really fun. You know.
Yeah, and it's like I don't really because I watch Smirky streams and whatnot, but I don't really get to sit down and talk to the man every once in a while.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I like
and
being
this
able to do
this
that. I
this
love you,
makes
Michael.
me want to
You're so
like
cool.
have an excuse to hang out with you guys outside of just streams or even the podcast. Like
Yeah,
you know.
exactly, man.
it's just not only is it good content, it's a good time, and hopefully
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
listening in is also enjoying the podcast, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the episodes.
Leave us some comments down below on what you think we should talk about next.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
And
Yeah.
don't ask to be brought onto the podcast because I will say no.
Because yeah, no. To be honest, like we just this is another thing I wanted to talk about. We kind of didn't have time.
It's fine.
But it's like how we were riding high with some of the TTR stuff, and then it died, and then Corporate Clash gave us a little bit of a bump with this 1.1, and we are riding high again. Like we were bumping with triple-digit viewers on Twitch. I uploaded a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
YouTube videos that popped, and then it's gonna die again, and we all know it.
No,
And so
that's-
we're cruising until the next.
That's
bump.
what happens with trends, It's just like everyone hypes it up for
Mhm.
like 2 weeks, and like it just like becomes non-existent. It's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. So we're just waiting for that next trend, and so it probably won't even happen until Toonfest, unfortunately. So
Pretty much.
you ready to buckle in until September?
All right, I'm ready for my 5 viewer streams. Let's do it.
All right, hitting cruise control. I'm gonna go play some Valorant.
Lit.
But yeah, that's all I got from me. I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys got any final words?
I got nothing. Follow all of our socials in the description.
Follow me on Twitter. That's the one I really care about.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter too. That's the only one
I'm
we
addicted
really
to
care
Twitter.
about.
I really care about Twitter.
All my homies love Twitter.
Hell yeah. Noah, you got anything? My audio stopped recording. Noah's like he's screaming at me from the other room. I think he already stopped recording.
Oh, welp.
Wait, what?
Audio stopped recording.
Your audio? You're not even in the call anymore. I
No,
don't
I'm
even hear
not.
you.
What happened?
I don't
My
know.
audio stopped recording. I'm
That's
so
fine.
sorry.
We're done anyway.
Yeah,
Michael's making.
I guess
fun
I'll
of you. Don't
just
worry
like
about
do
it.
an official outro
I can
here
still
in
hear you,
case
though.
Noah
Like,
That's
decides.
so
I can hear
weird.
you in the
That
other
is
room, and
weird.
My audition stopped recording. My Discord stopped recording.
We're going to intermission. We're having technical difficulties.
Someone take it away.
I'll end it. But thank
Okay.
you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. It's been wonderful. Follow everybody's socials, and I do mean everybody. These are all great dudes here, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for listening, dudes.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
I hate my